and gentlemen, and welcome to another Ultra Confusion interview. This time we have
Sterling Lavigne with the video game Parallel.
Tell us a little bit about your game.
We're running a multilinear story-focused RPG, and essentially what that boils down to is the majority of the game is basically more or less a sandbox in which you can complete whatever boss arc you want to first, and that alters every other descending boss arc after you do that. So while the difficulties of the bosses are pretty similar, they have different mechanics that get harder and harder as the boss fight goes. But you can do them in any order you want to, and then you get different abilities based on that, and that kind of changes the game as you go along.
So what were your inspirations?
Our inspirations were definitely Borderlands, Undertale, and I know I'm naming off AAA mixed with indie, but we like all kinds. We have a 5-man team, so we all kind of sat down like, what does everyone love? What gets you to come back and actually finish a story-driven game in a society right now where we're very multiplayer focused, where all you hear about are the big Apexes, the big Fortnites. What gets someone to play an indie game these days? Is it a really good story? Is it something a little edgy? We kind of got a fair mix that we like. Nothing too gratuitous, but at the same time it has a bit of our own flavorings in it.
So how long have you been working on it?
About 2.5 years. I would say 3 years based on like really early prototyping. When we first started, we were actually all in school. Now about half of us are still in school, and we went. One of our main artists was actually even in high school at the time when we first started the project. Obviously, things have changed in more ways than one since then. But so right now we got half of us are graduates from Kennesaw State, and half of us are still there. But we put every extra hour we have into the game.
So what would you say is one of the biggest hurdles that you've had to overcome to get your game to where it is now?
One of the biggest hurdles is definitely being visible. Would definitely be the best thing, and then getting feedback, and to negotiate both of those hurdles at the same time. We do events like this at MomoCon, DreamHack, Siege, and we're trying to get into PAX East to the point where not only can you garner a community. We have one person right here. Miles, come in just real quick.
Quick.
All right, this is Miles. He's been here 3 years in a row playing our game. And it's so awesome. And he emailed me saying he'd come here again, and he just kicked all of our boss's ass. I hope I'm allowed to curse. Again, and he's got the record on every boss. It's amazing.
Awesome.
But next year, we're releasing, and you got to be here to play everything we got then. You know that, right? Yeah. I love you, man. The team loves you. But and that's also a big motivational factor doing these events. Mm-hmm. They're also kind of arbitrary deadlines that we can't move. If I set a deadline, if the team is really screwed sometimes, of course I can nudge it, because again, we're setting our own deadlines. MomoCon doesn't give a crap if we're behind, right? So we got to make it happen, Captain. Got to make it work, and that's what we've been doing, and that's why a few events a year seems to be the Goldilocks zone. Any more than that, then oftentimes you're working on builds for the public that get in the way of development sometimes. But a few a year definitely help us out with visibility and testing, getting a lot of feedback.
So what kind of advice would you give an individual trying to break into the industry?
Find out what you're good at and nurture that. And when I say what you're good at, don't go what you think you're good at. Show your work to your peers and just get as much feedback as possible. And have reality hit you in the face. If you're not a good public speaker, that's fine. Find someone that is and befriend that guy, right? Or gal, whatever you need to do. I started the project. I'm a pretty good 3D artist. Rigger and modeler and animator, but I knew, I'm not the best scripter. I can do it, but it's not pretty. I'm definitely not the best 2D artist, so those are the holes that I filled. And again, also if you're going indie, realize you're going to be wearing a few hats. They're going to stack pretty high usually. You're not going to have a designated PR guy. I wish there was a magic PR guy, but you're going to end up doing it, like everyone else. And just realize you're going to be wearing multiple hats, be doing multiple things, and just let reality hit you in the face in a good way. If you're not good at something, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. Not your wheelhouse.
So what platforms?
We're definitely launching to Steam and PC, of course. We're looking at Epic Store. They're kind of the new kid on the block, and they're obviously making some interesting waves lately. So we're looking at them in such a way where it's definitely a possibility. We're not super friendly into the idea of exclusivity deals. Of course, that's usually for people with a crap ton visibility, so we probably don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, we've been telling people Steam for years, so Steam is 100%. Epic Store at the same time, if that is also possible, that'd be fantastic. But we're definitely PC at launch, and that's going to be with keyboard and controller support right away. Yeah.
So where can people find out more information?
At parallelthegame.com, you can actually download the alpha build behind me and totally test it. And if you have enough time after that, give us feedback. We love feedback. But if you just want to play a cool indie game for free right now, you totally can at our website. Just download it, the Windows version. If you're one of those evil people with a Mac or anything else, you can actually email us to the website and we can build you a custom build, and we love doing that for anyone who wants to play. I don't care if you're running it on a toaster. We use Unity, so we can build to pretty much any device that you want to play it on. And yeah, we're willing to work with anyone that's willing to give us time to play our game.
Any social media?
Our Twitter is Zasfar at Twitter. It's my own handle that turned into the Twitter for the game, and now we're so far along we can't really switch it. So that'd be ZASFARR at Twitter. And I post a few posts a week that are always exclusive to our game development, whether it's a new audio track, whether it's a new boss fight, new cinematic that we just got in, new mechanic, what have you, and a little bit about our personal struggles. I shouldn't say struggles, our journey. It's not always a forward journey, but sometimes you fall down and you just got to get right back up and keep at it. It's consistency. See a lot of new kids on the block during this indie expo right now, and I'm so happy that they're new kids on the block, right? A lot of them, this is their first year. They had technical difficulties, and someone forgot to bring chairs, and you got to help each other rise, up to the task, and it's also amazing to see people coming back year after year, and we've become one of those individuals, but in the beginning it was not like that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time to do the interview. I wish you the best of luck, and more than likely, I'm definitely checking out this game when I get a second.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been awesome.